On a global level, the numbers tell us that at the university level there is a dropout in the first year of about 22%. 52% manage to finish the studies. In America Latina, approximately 50% of the students manage to finish their higher education studies. In Chile, 3.2% of the gross domestic product is invested in education, where 70% is financed by the state. With those figures, it is then relevant to ask how dropout rates are reduced and thereby lower the burden of spending by the state. Experts agree that the main way to reduce study dropout is to achieve proper motivation and effective learning. And for this, different states have been created for students to learn more and better. So, the main problem we have is how to generate effective learning in the classroom and how the learning support tools correctly perform this work. One of the techniques that has taken more strength in recent time is to apply gamification techniques to educational process. But it is said that 80% of gamification techniques integrated to teaching process don't know deliver the expected result, where one of the main shortcomings is the poor design and planning of the tool used. Now, let's see two main aspects of this project. So, the main objective we have in proposal is to propose a conceptual framework based on the structure to guide the design process of teaching or learning tools, including gamification techniques for higher education students. It is also important to consider some secondary objectives such as one, a study of our requirements will be carried out, which will define our theoretical framework and support our research at a conceptual level. Subsequently, the design framework and prototyping will be developed to sequentially generate validation through the case studies. The proposed hypothesis consists of the incorporation of a framework for the gamification integration design process in higher education provides a better solution in terms of motivation and academic performance by students, reducing their error rate in the application of gamification techniques. Also consider that we can have a null hypothesis which can be defined as for example, the incorporation of a framework for the gamification integration design process in higher education support the teacher in the creation of educational software or tools with gamification, but its effect do not improve the motivation and performance that student present when using this tool compared to one designed without the use of a framework. In the case of the methodology, it is important to note that aspects of the qualitative and quantitative fields are considered.
This is due to the fact that the results obtained are in an evaluation scale of 1 to 7 or in percentage, which fall within a quantitative measurement. But the motivational analysis that the tool with gamification can generate in the student are qualitative. Then the methodology included this aspect and also consider the necessary iteration based on the planned experiment over time that will validate the work done in view of a final product that this is framework. Aspect of the methodology associated with the design and application of gamification for education are also considered. In the figure, you can see those main stage that must be addressed. The final proposed the document also detailed the methodology associated with the development of software prototypes called adapted MPR, which is basically an iterative process of software development. Finally, the work plan has 3 years in which the conceptual study, state of the art, and advance of the industry in the field will be carried out in a first stage. Subsequently, it will begin with the design of the solution, generation of the prototype, and their validation through the different defined case studies.
In conclusions, in this project we could see the work proposal to investigate and generate a framework that supports the process of integrating gamification techniques into software tools for educational purposes. Finally, the expected impact is that through this conceptual framework, this that university teacher can correctly integrate gamification into the active learning activities of their course and thereby minimize errors, save time, and implementation cost, and finally impacting the levels of approval and retention of students in higher education. Finally, thank for your attention.